Hi guys, and welcome to another Bootstrap 4 with brackets text editor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. In our last video we added a footer section, or most part of a footer section if we roll down there. This is what we did last time. I just want to add a third column here. We've already got the column in place, and I want to add some social media icons to our little column here. And to do that, I'm going to be using Font Awesome, which is a great set of free fonts. So if you open a tab in Google, I'm using Google Chrome here. If you want to follow along, you can use any browser, but I suggest you use this purely because of the great inspector that we use, the developer tools. And once in Google, search for Font Awesome CDN, and our CDN stands for Content Delivery Network, so we don't actually have to download any fonts and install them on our site. We can just pull them straight from their internet site. So here's one right here. Let's grab that, and you see this href here, or this link, this URL, where it'll pull it from their site. So let's copy that. Click to copy. There we go. Control C. Make sure I've got it. Now let's go to our index.html. I'm using the free brackets text editor here. And for those that haven't been following along, here's our website folder with our website files inside of it. Here's our index.html, which we're working on here, and inside the CSS folder is our custom style sheet that we made. We'll probably be working with that again today as well, and as you can see, I've got that open in my brackets. Just right click and open it if you need to. Brackets is a free text editor, and it's available from a link below this video. So let's go to our index.html. This is where we left off last time. Column 1, column 2, and here's our third column, which is empty at the moment. So if we go back to our site, if I can find it, column 1, column 2, and our empty column 3 here. So what we need to do is put this URL as a style sheet at the top of our index.html. Let's go back to the top of our site. And we've got a link here linking to our custom CSS site, custom CSS file I should say. So I'm just going to paste this URL in here. We'll just have to wrap it in a link tag. That's that URL we just copied, and I'm going to copy this to the first quotation marks there, and it'll throw up an error. There we are, it's thrown up an error because I haven't got any closing quotations on there. Then I'm going to copy from the closing one after the .css right the way to that closing bracket there. Paste that on the end. That should fix our problem. Yep. So that's linking to that URL we just copied there, and it's a style sheet. Now I'm going to pinch this title just for expediency and paste it in there, and I'm just going to write Font Awesome there. I guess we could say CSS too. So there we go, we've got a title, and now this knows when we load this browser, this loads into a browser, it knows to go to that address and get a style sheet from there for our fonts we're going to use. And let's save this. You might say, what fonts? You haven't shown us any fonts yet, James. Come on. Well, just Google Font Awesome. Once there, click on the icons. It looks like we're already there. And it'll give you, well, let's click on the free, because there's a premium version as well, but for all honesty, most of the time all you need is this free version. It's got this huge amount of icons that you can use here, and these aren't images, they're actual fonts, so they're not pings or JPEGs. These are actual fonts, and you can treat them just like you would treat any other font or text in your site. So now I want some social media icons, so let's start with Facebook, I suppose. And here's a bunch. So let's grab this one. All I'm going to do is click on it, and it brings us to that icon page. I'm going to copy all of this icon class. And there's one really important thing we're going to do when we put this in there. We're going to get rid of that B there to make this work for some reason. Okay, so let's Control C to copy. Go back to our index.html. Let's go back down to the bottom. Where we left off, and here's our third column here. Right, I think I'll put a div inside here with a different class, so we can target it with some CSS if we want to. Div with a class of, what shall I call it? Don't want to call it FA because that's what the fonts are called, so it's called FTA. FTAW, because I might have used FTA before, and you want to make sure you don't have the same class twice on two different things. It's okay to use it on two different things if you want them to be styled the same, but if you don't, then you want to make sure you've got unique classes. Okay, and that font that we just copied, let's paste that in there. I'm just going to give this a class of text light, so we're working with a dark background, and I'll spell that right, it might help. Text light, because we're working with a dark background and you won't be able to see it otherwise. Now it's not going to look too interesting. Let's just see what that's done for us. Control S and back to the site. Here's our site. Now when I refresh, there should be a little Facebook icon over here somewhere. There it is. Ah, well, there it isn't actually. That is where it should be, and I didn't do what I told you to do just now, and here's the reason why. You see, I got that B on there. Just take that B off, save it again, back to the site and refresh. There we go. We've now got that little Facebook icon there, and like I say, that's a font, so if we inspect it, roll up so we can see, I can target it just like anything else. So I'll say font size, make it bigger. Let's say 50 pixels, maybe too big, but this is just for an example. Yeah, it's probably about what I want to use actually there. And we can give it some padding on the top to bring it down, say 20 pixels. A little bit too much. Let's just select that value and roll my mouse wheel and I'll bring it up. I think that's about right, 15 pixels. And of course you can change the color here too. Let's grab our little, let's go back there, let's grab the color blue that we've been using. There it is. Select that font again. Now if I just put colour in there, paste in that value we just copied. There we go. I think that's the colour I want to use. So let's just copy these and get that done already. Back to our style sheet. And I want to target FTAW, font awesome, and the icon. So FTAW and I, and it's a class. Go down the bottom. Class dot FTAW was the class, and I is what we want to target, the icons. Open and close some curlies. Let's just paste that value in there. And save that. Control S, back to our site. Get rid of the inspector. And let's refresh that. It should stay the same. There we go. Fantastic. Well, let's add a couple more fonts, shall we? Let's just hit back and do a search for Twitter, I guess. Hit that one. There it is. Copy all of this. Control C. Back to our index.html. And as these are regular fonts, I'm just going to put a space in. That'll give it a space between it. Just a little space. We can always add some padding. Paste that one in there. Remove that B. Remember to remove that B this time. Control S. I'm going to go back. Let's grab another one. Say Google or Google Plus or whatever it's called nowadays. It keeps reinventing itself. There we go. Google Plus. That one will do. I'm grabbing similar types each time. The squares. You don't have to. Grab that one. Back to our index.html. Give it a space. I may end up putting these on different lines because we're going to want to wrap them in some anchor tags like we did up here and send them to the various Facebook pages and Twitter pages, whatever your Twitter handles and Facebook handles are. Okay, and let's do one more. Let's do Instagram, I guess, is another popular one. There's what I want right there. Just click on it one more time. Copy this. And back to our site. And copy that in there. Just save that and see what we've got. Back to our site here. Now when I refresh, those other three icons should appear. You know what I did there? Anybody know what I did there? I didn't take the B's off, did I? Back to our index. Dunk. Dunk. There we go. Let's try that one more time. That should actually work this time. There we go. You've got four nice little social media icons. I'm just going to push them over to the middle of that section. And then of course we've got to link them to their various sites. So let's give this the class of text center. And save it, and that should push them over to the middle of this section now. There we go. Fantastic, just what I want. Now I just want to link them. So let's, like I say, I'm going to put all of these on separate lines. Should make it a little bit easier for me. And that shouldn't change the way they look. Shouldn't stack them on top of each other. Let's have a look, see, just to make sure. Refresh. Yeah, that's fine. They're still exactly the same. Right, now we just need to wrap each one in a tag. So we want to say A href, and the href or the link wants to go to the URL of whatever the site you want them to go to. So let's just do this first one and put that closing anchor tag. Control X to cut, Control V to copy, other side of that icon there, and let's just go to, well, I guess I'll go to my own Facebook site. So you go to yours, and let's go down the bottom here to my links I got on my site. Just hit that one and copy the href there, or the URL I should say. Control C to copy once I've highlighted it, and back to our index.html, and I'm just going to copy that or paste that URL inside there. And I think I'm going to add, just after the URL, I'm going to add target blank underscore blank, and what that'll do is when they click on it, it'll stay on our site, but it'll open the Facebook in a separate site. Control S to save, back to the site wherever it's gone, there it is, and refresh. Now that Facebook icon should now link us to the actual Facebook site there. You see the hand icon, that means it's got an href. Let's click on it, and like I said, it opened in a new tab here, which is just what we wanted. So we want to rinse and repeat and do the same thing for the next few. So I'll pause this video and I'll just do the same thing for these ones down here, and then we'll finish with our footer. Okay, so I've copied in some URLs there and just replaced them in between those quotation marks there, being careful not to cut off the quotation marks. And let's save this, Control S, back to the site, and let's do a refresh. Now all of these have got anchor tags. There we go. So that is how to add some social media tags. One last thing, I think I'll just give them a tiny little bit more padding. See how much we got to work with here. Let's see how big our column is. Scroll this up so we can see it. There's our column. Yeah, we got a bit of room to work with there. So I'm just going to space them out a little bit more. So I'm just going to get a bit of padding on the right, say 15 pixels, something like that. Well, let's try it. Padding right of say 15 pixels. Yeah, that'll work. I'll take it down to 10, see what that looks like. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it at 10. And we'll just copy that into our style sheet. And just add it after our last entry there. Just tidy that up some. And Control S to save, back to the site. refresh should stay the same. There we go. So there you have it. That is how to add some social media icons to your footer using Font Awesome. And you can use Font Awesome anywhere in your site. It's a wonderful set of icons. I do suggest you experiment with it. I do use them all the time on Bootstrap sites. You can also use them in Photoshop, and you can incorporate them into WordPress sites also. So I hope you found that useful. If you have, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in web development, take one of our courses below. We've got some huge discounts for our YouTube subscribers. There's also some great free courses down there, so take a look. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.